What's everybody? It's just one more chapter. I'm Melanie.
I'm Santana.
And thank you for tuning in.
Yes.
I'm going to apologize up front. I have a little bit of lisp going on. I'm starting Invisalign. I'm wearing retainers. So if I slur or like roll my S's or whatever, just so you know, people might not even notice, but
Yeah.
had to point it out. Thanks for tuning in again. If this is your first time, we are a book-ish podcast. We talk about all things book and book related, sometimes TV show and movies,
Yeah.
video games. Maybe speaking of, maybe we have to do that for like the next episode.
Yeah.
The Last of Us.
We'll say it.
We'll save it. Where can they find us, Santana?
You can find us on Instagram, TikTok at Just One More Chapter. You can rate and review our episodes on Apple and Spotify. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a like and a comment on there. It really helps. And Fable. That's where we hold our monthly book club.
That's what this episode is.
Yes.
Spoiler warning, if you haven't read All the Missing Pieces by Catherine Cowles, come back.
Yes.
Or if you don't care, come and find out what the book's about.
Yeah.
At the end of the podcast, we will talk about the next.
Yes. Yeah. We'll let you guys know what we're reading next.
Okay, guys, this book. This book wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad.
But I had a hard time caring about it.
Yeah.
Like when it was finished, I have to be honest, I didn't read the epilogue until like yesterday.
Yeah.
Before we were filming.
I was the exact same way.
Yeah.
As soon as I knew like who did it,
Yeah.
I was just like, like I didn't care. Like it was good at keeping me guessing who like the killer abductor was the whole time. But other than that, I just wanted to know who it was, and then I was like, I'm over it.
Yeah, like this was such a good pick for some of the girls in the book club. And I'm not saying it was a bad pick, but I think because I'm so into fantasy and romantasy right now that like taking a step away from it, this book was really hard to grip me.
Oh, totally.
And okay, well, let's just get into it.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
Oh, I don't know. Where are we going to start?
So basically, we have our main character, Ridley. She had a twin. The twin got abducted or disappears.
Yeah,
really.
immediately.
Yeah, immediately. That's what we find out. The only thing that's left is like a bloodied keychain, right? So they know something bad happened to her. And then, basically she just turns her life and makes it a mission
To find out
to
what
find
happened.
out what happened. Yeah.
And also for other stories, right?
Yeah.
She becomes like a crime podcast investigator.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is really cool. I like the premise.
Yeah.
Because there are so many crime podcasts.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
I think I want to start off with this book was different for me. The fact that the author, Catherine, had every paragraph separated.
Yeah.
Did you like notice that right
I did
away?
notice that actually.
What did you think about that?
I didn't mind it. Like
Yeah.
it kind of kept it like cleaner for me.
I guess I could see that.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a weird choice.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like something distinctive as why she separated. She
Yeah.
just decided to separate it. And I'm really curious what was her reason for that.
Yeah.
Because every other book, it's just always been,
Totally.
one. So I thought that was
Exactly.
interesting.
Yeah.
Santana's going to have to take control of the podcast.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
I have my notes.
She has her
here.
notes.
So basically Ridley is now a true crime podcaster. She makes it her mission to go around and help families basically discover what happened to their loved ones. She's been known to be really good at her job and even solving some cases. She arrives in Shady Cove, which is where this story takes place. She is investigating the cold case of Emerson Sinclair. She's a local girl who survived an abduction 10 years earlier.
What did you think of Ridley starting a podcast but not mentioning her sister? Like that was the reason she kept that out. What did you think about that?
I mean, I can understand. I can understand why.
Not wanting to share your trauma.
Yeah.
Which I think it's admirable for her to not be like, hey, I have this traumatic story.
Yeah.
Let me just gain views.
Exactly.
Because of that.
100%.
Sorry, guys. If you guys love this book and then we're just not really taking it seriously, I apologize.
Yeah,
but
sorry.
not every book for once a month can be as gripping for every single person.
Exactly.
So
100%.
I apologize in advance.
So basically she's there. She's investigating Emerson's abduction. She survived, but she's completely like agoraphobic or whatever they call it. She doesn't leave the house.
Yeah, she's like a recluse. Like, is a recluse what that means? Like, you don't want to go anywhere?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, hermit. So she's trying to figure out who she can talk to in town to kind of get an idea of, what's her name again?
Emerson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than just like blatantly like say like, hey, I'm coming here to investigate, because she is very popular.
Yeah,
like
she
people
is.
know who she is because of how popular the podcast becomes.
She has like millions of followers.
Yeah. So how could you really? Well, I guess people don't really know about you, except for like because that one young boy definitely.
Dean.
Yeah,
who
finds
becomes
her
like
out.
her helper.
Yeah, that was cute.
Yeah, that was cute. That was cute. He's like a big fan. So pretty much immediately she goes into town and meets Colt. He's like
Our main character.
yeah, Colt. He's like the sheriff of the town.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her cat was like locked in the bed.
Oh yeah, that get forced. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So one woman was like upset about that.
Yeah.
Which okay, hey, fine.
Yeah, fine.
That's definitely
Yeah.
plausible.
Yeah.
Someone getting upset. And then
Exactly.
she comes back like, no, this is my cat. She's fine.
Yeah.
And but then she like leave like a note too.
Yeah, it was on the dashboard.
Yeah, like this old lady.
It's got AC.
Yeah. Clearly didn't know her surroundings. And yeah, that's how they met.
Yeah. He asked for her ID, and there's immediately a little bit of tension there, but not much.
No, did she like point out right away how attractive he was? Like that
His
whole
broad shoulders.
Oh. They always do it in these books of like, I was like stunned of like how good looking this person is.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see here.
There, at the end of this book, there is a reading group guide, which the first question was, Ridley's sister disappears at the beginning of the book. How has this influenced Ridley's life and changed her career trajectory? Do you think the main goal of Ridley's career is to find her sister? For me, I think that's like an obvious answer.
That's an obvious, definitely.
I don't really think the book gives you an alternative.
Yeah,
You know,
100%. Because in the beginning, like she kind of says she didn't know where her life was going. Her sister was very like successful and like honor student, but Ridley was kind of like didn't know what she wanted to do with her life. So it did give her a purpose for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think both of her answers is yes. Like that's definitely obviously if her sister didn't go missing, would she become a crime junkie podcast? No.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
What is next?
So they meet. Cole kind of finds out she's in town trying to investigate. Oh wait, do we know? Sorry. Do we know at this point that
he doesn't know at this point.
Yeah,
no,
he doesn't
not until
know.
that he sees her at the porch and then like confronts her about it.
That's right. Yeah. So excuse me. So yeah, Colt. It kind of switched perspectives, like it's dual POV. So we do get Colt's perspective at this point. And then he texts someone named Shortcake. What did you think of that? I wasn't sure if it was like a girlfriend.
Oh, I 100% thought it was a girlfriend.
Yeah, so did I at that point.
Like, we don't know the backstory of anything, so Shortcake, I was like, okay, there's a girl on the side?
I know, a side piece.
Like a side
That's
piece.
exactly what I thought. But he was saying how like attractive Ridley was and all that. So I was like, that's weird. Like, is he a douche like that?
Did not expect it to be his sister.
Yeah.
Like, maybe if she was like a younger child, but her sister's like a grown adult.
Yeah,
And her
exactly.
nickname in her phone was Shortcake. Little sus.
I thought that too. I was like, that's a weird nickname.
Little sus.
Very weird.
Clearly, she's trying to make it seem like we don't know who the sister is.
Yeah.
I just thought Shortcake was a weird, on the nose, like this girl's been like
Super weird.
effing each other. With
Yeah,
them. Like,
that's
don't
what
know.
I thought. Little Shortcake.
It's just like
Super weird.
Hey, some people have those relationships. If my brother had me in his phone as Shortcake, I'm like, you fucking pervert.
Like weirdo.
Get the fuck out
Can
of
you
here.
not?
Delete my number.
So yeah, Ridley's camped her. She lives in a camper van. I don't know if we mentioned that.
Oh, well, for a second, but yeah.
She
no.
lives in a van and
But you
like
guys know.
travels.
Which is cool. I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. So yeah, she's in touch with her editor Sully, who lets her know her producer is putting the pressure on. I guess her producer doesn't want her to be in Shady Cove doing the story.
Yeah, they wanted her to go to like a different, more popular true crime
Yeah.
investigation, like, you know,
Yeah.
something that's more popular in social
Yeah.
media, but then she wanted to do the specific one.
Yeah.
Did they bring up why yet?
She No, I don't think so.
Okay,
Let me
okay.
just see here.
Well,
yeah, no, not yet. It gets into that, though.
Okay.
About why she's really passionate about this case.
I think early on, it was very easy to assume that it's because of her sister.
Yeah, that's what I thought,
Right?
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. So, yeah, she kind of goes into towns, tries to start interviewing people, but everyone's super closed off about Emerson's case.
It's the only missing girl in
small,
town.
Yeah, small town. Like, no, we don't talk about that.
Yeah, I think it'd be such a hard job for her to try and get information out of people.
Yeah.
Especially, I think it'd be easier if she went missing and never was seen again, but the fact
Yeah.
that she survived,
Yeah.
that they're probably like, hey, no, go
And
away.
then she doesn't leave the house and is
Yeah.
like super traumatized.
Doesn't
by
know
it.
who did it to her,
Yeah.
and neither does the town.
Exactly.
So I believe that.
So yeah, she meets Dean here, the young teenage boy, and he kind of explains to her like Emerson doesn't leave the house. Her brother brings her groceries, and then Ridley's like, okay, well I need to go talk to her before someone tells her I'm here, and completely shuts me out. So she heads to Ridley's house, and this is when Colt shows up.
Yeah. So we meet Emerson for just through the door. She has like a guard dog.
Yeah.
And the interaction obviously like, who are you? Like, I can't remember how that interaction went, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think it was mainly like Ridley being like, oh, I'm trying to help. Like, I think your case was the first of many.
That's right. That's when
Yeah.
she brings it up. Like, I think that wasn't the first time or
Yeah.
the last time that person abducted you.
Yeah.
I think that intrigues Emerson because Emerson has been so sheltered in terms of
Yeah.
like from her brother not wanting to talk about it. Let's not dig into it. I don't think she even cared to dig into it, to be honest
No.
with you. And then then we find out that it's Colt's sister, which I don't know if I was shocked by that.
Yeah, I wasn't either.
Yeah, I think that it didn't caught me off guard that he came.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't expecting that
Yeah.
for the three of them to be there.
Yeah.
I thought maybe Emerson would just close the door
Yeah.
and say bye, like leave me the f alone.
Yeah.
But then Colt to come and be super aggressive.
Yeah, like, get off my sister's property.
Yeah. Hey, but I get it though.
Yeah.
Thinking someone's going to exploit.
Yeah, he basically like accuses of her of using like people's pain to make profit, which is understandable because he doesn't know her story yet.
No. There was another question in the reading group guide. These are very like basic, but we'll go through them. Why do you think Ridley and Colt, Ridley are drawn to each other? Do you think it's purely physical attraction at first, or are they linked in a greater way?
I think physical at first, definitely.
100%.
Because they keep mentioning each other's.
Yeah, like to say they're linked in a greater way, you kind of know why they're linked
Yeah.
later on, but to
Yeah.
say like that's what brought them together, I'm so no.
Yeah,
No,
No.
definitely purely physical.
Definitely.
Like I'm sure there's not many out of town people who come through their town.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm sure Colt's like, whoa, like who's this girl? Attractive, but young.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly. So yeah, Ridley heads back to her van. She's kind of upset about the whole interaction. And
This is where she gets attacked, right? Or not yet?
quite. This is where we find out she has files and like there's 23 other cases that she thinks is linked to this abductor / killer. She thinks Emerson was the first and her
right.
sister was one of them as well.
That's right. And we do know that Colt's been trying to figure it out and has no luck.
Yeah.
Which is, what does it really say about like the Colt's sheriff office that like this young girl can figure this out? There's
Some
connections.
true crime
And like,
podcast.
yeah. And like your office can't link cases together.
Yeah, like you
Okay.
guys have all the resources.
But like, if you guys are familiar with true crime podcasts, there has been podcasts that solve
Yeah.
cold cases.
Exactly.
So that is feasible.
yeah,
you know?
totally, 100%. So yeah, she heads to the bar for lunch, and this is the first time she meets Trey, which is one of Colt's best friends.
Who's very protective of Emerson, right?
Emerson, yeah. He kind of opens up to her and says he was the one who found Emerson. And in this moment, I thought he was the one.
Really?
Yeah, I got weird vibes from him.
Oh, I didn't get that.
Yeah, immediately I was like, oh, I think it's him. Yeah, because he
could see that.
he was really weird. He was the first one to find her. Like, it was kind of suspicious to me.
Oh, now
So I
that
was
you're
like,
saying that.
I was like, oh, I think it might be him. So I put him in the back of my mind. He also says to go easy on Colt because Colt was the one who was supposed to pick her up that night she got abducted, and he was late.
And I could see why then Colt was so aggressive with Ridley of coming into confronting his sister.
Oh,
You know,
totally.
I understands why he's super, super protective of her.
And then Ridley kind of opens up to Trey about her sister, about why she's so passionate about this case. And
I feel like if Trey never said anything about Colt and Emerson, that I don't think that really would have opened up about Avery.
No, I don't
Right?
think so.
So it's
At all.
At all. I'm sure eventually she would have.
Yeah.
But I think that was like the perfect time to mention it.
And then she tries to interview one of Emerson's old coaches. He gets sketched out and leaves.
That coach, see that for me.
Yeah.
The coach was a little bit
sus for you.
Little sus.
Yeah.
Especially getting his memory of the event.
Yeah.
And talking about how she was always okay. So who was the Emerson was the one who's playing tennis.
Yes.
Okay. Just make sure I remember. So yeah, saying that she's always staying late for the tennis practice. No one else was there. He was putting gear away. I was like, it's the fucking coach.
He was
him.
super sus.
Super sus.
Yeah, and just the way that first interaction went out, he was like, "Oh, I gotta leave. No, sorry, I can't do this."
Yeah.
And then she tries to interview an old groundskeeper who gets super upset with her, and Colt shows up and saves the day.
Oh yes, yes. Aggressive old man.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then again, he's accusing her of stirring up trouble. Doesn't want her to be there. Goes back to her van to apologize later on, and he finds her showering. This is the scene where he kind of finds her showering. And her nipples pebble.
I can't. Okay, you guys, I can't with this nipple. Once this nipple comes into contact with this book, this author cannot stop talking about these nipples.
This and their scents. That was the thing for me. It was repetitive. He smells like cloves and cardamom, and she smells like burnt orange. I was just like, okay.
Okay, please, if you guys can name me one instance where if you've had an interaction with a person and you always smell a specific scent from them.
Or your nipples do something. I'm sorry, me looking at someone, that's not going to affect my nipples.
No, immediately my notes. What's with the nipple mentions? I don't get it. If a guy is king, is constantly looking at my nipples, why are your nipples so hard, girl? You need a sweater. Put a blanket on. Your nipples shouldn't be
Something's going on here.
24/7. Unless you're horny 24/7, then I could see maybe then your nipples are hard.
Yeah.
You need bigger bras.
Yeah, come on, girl. And she even mentions oh, I can't trust my nipples around him at this point. I was like, what?
Almost just spit out my water at Santana.
Okay.
I just and the more they got into the dirty talk, which that comes later on, I don't know why. And we've had dirty talk, extreme dirty talk. Yeah. This felt so cringe.
I know. I think it was just because I didn't really. I don't know. Their connection to me was a little off.
Okay, we'll get into that once they finally hook up. I don't know. I felt this dirty talk was so cringe to me. Oh, I don't know.
100%. So Colt basically apologizes, tells her Trey told him about her sister, and they kind of bond at this point. Yeah. They're kind of sharing their trauma, and even though Emerson's life wasn't taken, basically it still was because she doesn't live life. You know what I mean?
She's a hollow of a person.
Yeah.
And this is definitely what makes Colt lay off on her because it's hey, I clearly see now you're not trying to capitalize. Yeah, you've had trauma and you're just trying to help other people.
She has a mission.
Yeah, so now he's understanding what this all is. And
So Colt tells her to be careful, and that the guy may come after her for digging up stuff too.
Oh,
right?
totally. You're a young girl in a van camping at random towns.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
you have a cat. That's not going to be a scare. That's not going to scare away anyone.
Like, at least get a dog, girl.
Yeah, but she does mention she carry around mace, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she has a taser.
Oh, there you go, taser.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So Colt heads back home, and then he receives a call that the sheriff's office was broken into.
Oh yeah, I had no idea. Obviously, it was the person who's going to get discovered, but I had no idea at this point who it was.
Yeah, me neither. That's what this book was good at, was keeping you guessing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it makes sense, but also does it really make sense? Well, I guess it's up to the person that just because she's digging into it and not the sheriff's office, why would they now want to then go in there and steal and get all the information? And why are they still living
I know, in the area.
In the area.
Super weird.
Especially because he's had, we know it's a he, but
Yeah.
multiple kidnappings, multiple people. You'd think they'd move somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Get out of the area.
Not with the girl who's still living alive.
Exactly.
Too.
100%.
Interesting. I don't know. Like now, I guess this is where our brains take off. And I didn't think about this while reading the book. Maybe it's because they do want to kill her.
Yeah.
Because it's the only one.
Yeah, could be.
They don't.
Could be.
They don't.
I
That
didn't
doesn't
think
get,
about that.
That
But
doesn't get
yeah.
answered at all in the book.
No, it
but now I'm
doesn't.
just thinking about maybe that's the only the reason.
Yeah, like, why didn't he go back? Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
Very weird.
I didn't think about that.
Neither did I.
So yeah, immediately Colt thinks it's Ridley who's taken these.
What is this guy thinking? Why would you think
Like,
it's
what
her?
a psycho. Yeah, she's gonna go in, break in, and assault a dude officer.
Yes.
Like, what?
This tiny little girl, which has been mentioned how like kind of small
Yeah,
she
petite
is.
she is.
Yeah, that like you think she's capable of then going and after she confided in you about her sister. I thought that was so dumb of his character.
So stupid.
Like really?
I was like, okay, dude.
You really think it's her?
Annoying.
Fucking dumbass. No, there was no way.
Yeah.
I thought that there's been many points in this book, throughout the book, sorry, I should say. This one was just like forced disagreement. Like a forced, like, I don't really trust you.
Yeah.
I just felt forced.
Yeah.
I was like, but don't buy it.
I agree.
He's not that dumb.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly. Like he's a sheriff.
yes.
Like, use your brain.
It's just forced tension to make them quote unquote enemies.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We'll get into that too. So yeah, he immediately goes to her van and she's like recording a podcast episode. She's on the phone with her editor, Sully, and he's accusing her of being like, where were you the last 3 hours? And
She's like, here?
here recording. There's timestamps.
Like, it's so weird for him apologizing for his behavior before, then comes being aggressive towards her, accusing her of a crime. She's like, what the heck is wrong with this guy? He's your sheriff?
F you.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I basically like tells her. She tells him to leave her alone.
Yeah, again, I just felt forced.
Yeah.
It felt not natural, not
Exactly.
believable for me.
Yeah. She meets up with Dean. Dean kind of helps her get some yearbooks from when Emerson was in school for her to look into the people she was around at that time.
Yeah, she brings up like any jealous girls, anyone who'd be like, because she was trajectory to be like a really good tennis player.
Yes.
So she's just seeing if like anyone was jealous of
Jealous.
that.
Yeah.
Other than like the coach and the
Yeah.
groundskeeper she's interviewed.
And then after that, she heads back to her campsite, and there's a basket full of goodies.
Oh,
that was cute.
That was cute.
But
I like the
that.
fact she's like, "This is nice, but I'm not gonna like
Immediately like, oh,
Yeah, like you were an asshole.
Yeah.
Like coming in aggressively asking me if I broke into a freaking sheriff's office.
exactly.
Yeah, at least I like that by her character.
And then this is when she gets attacked. She goes to put the trash into the trash bin, and yeah, gets attacked.
Did you expect that?
I didn't.
Yeah.
No.
I did not expect that
I
at
was
all.
surprised.
I thought I was surprised the attacker would use their voice and like whisper in her ear.
whispered in her ear.
That was creepy.
Like, leave this alone or I'll come back and get
Yeah.
you.
One, I think it's stupid for that person to use your voice
Yeah.
so that she can remember what your voice
Yeah.
sounds like. She doesn't clue that in, which
Yeah.
I find kind of strange. I found that so strange of who it was in the ending that she didn't realize
she
that
didn't
person talking.
register.
Yeah. But again, traumatic situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we'll forget that.
But yeah, I was shocked by that. I was not expecting her to be attacked.
And yeah, basically she kind of wakes up in the hospital, a bit sore, but she's okay. Her producer shows up and tells her to like leave. This is enough.
Yeah.
Which is fair. Like you just gotta.
I didn't clue in to how quickly this producer came.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if people immediately clocked that or not.
Yeah.
Being like, how is he here so quickly?
Yeah.
We obviously don't know the distance between where he is calling.
Yeah.
And she was just in there because it was the same night, right? She woke up.
Yeah,
It wasn't like
I
she
think so.
slept.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the fact that he came in immediately, I did not clock that
Yeah.
for him to be the attacker
Yeah.
at all.
I know. Me neither.
You what now? Why the heck is he there that quickly?
He just shows up.
Yeah. If anyone caught that, let me know because I did not catch that.
Yeah. And then Colt gets word and he heads down immediately. Mm-hmm. And then basically the doctor doesn't want to release her to stay alone, and Colt offers to let her stay at his house.
What hospital would let you leave less than 24 hours of being attacked? In what world?
Like, she could have a concussion.
Yeah.
She's got, like, bruises on her neck.
The doctors are going to keep you in there longer. The fact they're like,
100%.
yeah, no, you could go because he's the sheriff.
No problem.
And then forced like aggression between Colt and the producer guy.
Oh, my God, I know. Like, is that a threat?
Oh my
like,
gosh.
please.
But I honestly am surprised that Ridley would be like, yeah,
Yeah, I know. Me too.
okay. We have to suspend disbelief on that. And yeah, he offers to come live at his house. Mm-hmm. Forced pros
proximity.
Thank you. But then it means like Colt believe her because I think she might think that no one believed her, especially
Yeah.
Colt, of thinking she broke in, then apologized to think like, hey, maybe she's just like making that up. She got attacked.
Yeah.
So
Who knows? And yeah, basically Colt's taking care of her while she's on the mend, and you kind of see like the attraction between the two is really starting. And her van was destroyed by the attacker. So
that was sad
he
to
took
read
her
about.
laptop, but wasn't able to get the notes that she had on all the 23 victims. So.
That's shitty. That's expensive. But the cat's okay.
Yeah, the cat. Yeah, she had the cat with her, I guess. The cat
Yeah,
was
like,
with
how
her
does-
on a leash? I don't know.
Like the attacker attacked you. You end up in the hospital. Your van gets attacked. How did that cat not run out of the van?
I know.
How did the cat not just?
Most cats I know would be like, bye.
Yeah, peace out. Like, thank goodness there was no like forced violence on
Yeah.
a cat. That would be. I would hate this book if that was happening. But like the fact that the cat didn't get like loose and lost for maybe like a day.
Yeah. Yeah, hard to believe.
Hard to believe. Cats, bye.
And then this is kind of where they start comparing notes, right?
Yeah, we start to like
They start working together.
they make like a pact.
This is where it comes up the enemies. So
Okay.
she says it twice, and I'm like, girl, you guys are not enemies. I'm
Not
sorry.
even close to enemies. I hate that was brought up as
Yeah.
she said that.
Yeah.
You're not enemies.
Enemies with benefits. Sorry, is what she said.
Okay, so when they get together, it felt forced.
Yeah.
Forced, but then I find it so unnatural and so weird that immediately
Yeah.
you're like, we're calling this enemies benefits.
I know. And she has like,
Cringe.
she says it twice too, which I was like,
But like not even 24 hours, I
Yeah.
think. It was like immediately after, we need to call this. We're just friends.
yeah. It just happened so quick. There was no like real buildup of him like, you know what I mean?
Like they're setting as a boundary.
No sexual yeah, it's like, oh, no sleeping in the same bed. And I was just like, no, where's the passion here?
Yes,
There's
but
no
like,
passion.
You guys don't even know each other. What do you mean it's gonna get in the way of the work? Who are you? Like, what are you talking about?
100%.
This is gonna affect us investigating, huh?
Yeah.
It just felt so forced to have them be separated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very weird.
So stupid. So stupid. Like people can have friends to benefits. That is a normal thing that does happen.
Yeah, of course.
But it's not like in the way that this is portrayed. It's not. I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
don't
it
buy
wasn't
it.
believable to me.
Not at all.
I just didn't feel the chemistry between them.
Yeah.
There was no-
We're not sleeping in the same bed. You
Yeah.
guys are clearly attracted to each other.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Like, okay.
Like,
Sleep in separate rooms.
stupid.
So, yeah, they get back to like investigating the case. Ridley figures out that Emerson's old coach had changed the date on some video footage. That was what his alibi was or something along those lines.
Yeah, I could see that. You're watching the footage and she's like, okay, what's the weather?
Yeah.
He's kind of dressing weird. Okay, I can kind of buy that.
Yeah.
Again, it was like this coach.
Is it the coach? And I was like, oh, it's too obvious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. At that point, I was like, I can't be him.
Yeah.
Was not expecting to have relations with an underage girl.
I know.
Didn't expect that.
He's like, it wasn't me. I was hooking up with my student. Okay.
Which I thought, okay, cool. I like that there was something else.
Yeah.
But did not expect that.
Yeah, me neither. I was like, okay. Predator.
Just a casual predator in your story. Got away with
throw
hooking
that
up.
in there.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And then, yeah, Emerson kind of invites Colt and Ridley over for lunch. Ridley and Emerson kind of start to bond a little bit, I would say. Colt and Ridley head back to Colt's house afterwards, and they jump into the lake, and they hook up in the lake.
Oh, yeah. Why did they jump into the lake again?
She's just, oh, it's life. We gotta live life.
Be spontaneous.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much all it was.
Yeah, their time spent at his house and these interactions, I get it. It's forced proximity and things to do, but like all of that just felt. I wish we could have had that and not the scene prior of like, well, let's just keep it.
Yeah.
Like the having to force it in our, but like they're enemies to benefit.
Yeah.
All this other stuff just feels like, I don't know, it doesn't feel like payoff.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, because you know at the
100%.
end they're going to get together.
I know. It's so obvious.
So like having to force
there's not even a question of being like, they're not going to end up together.
Yeah. And so
what
I
I mean?
didn't really feel like I could enjoy these scenes because I just felt like, okay,
Yeah,
they're gonna get together in the end, so cool.
Exactly.
I don't know. I wasn't into it, man.
I agree. Yeah, then when she gets out of the lake, Ridley checks her phone and she sees like she's being harassed on all of her socials. And her producer's like, what's going on here? And he's still in Shady Cove for some reason.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, and then they meet up.
Okay,
Yeah.
again, did not clock that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So she gets a call from Baker, her producer, and he's like, oh, what's going on? Because he wants her to leave, but she's thinking of just quitting his network, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So she goes and meets him at the bar, and they kind of have this little tussle. He's like, no, you're not leaving me, you cunt. Like,
Whoa.
grabs her arm and she tases him.
That interaction was so aggressive so quickly. Like, I'm sorry. And what, like, I get it that, like, you know, you have a producer who wants you to work on a story.
Yeah.
You're not wanting to do that. Okay, that's
Yeah.
believable.
Exactly.
But for him to call you a cunt and be like, okay, no, you can't do it.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
Did not clock this guy at all for the story.
So yeah, she decides to just do the podcast on her own. She doesn't need Baker. And then all her fans are supporting her. Emerson agrees to do an interview with her afterwards.
That's which I found.
Yeah.
I didn't clock as to reason why Emerson. I guess did Brittany already tell Emerson about her sister?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she had opened up to her a bit.
Okay. So I guess that's a good reason for Emerson to have an interview with her. I think that's believable. You know, after being by yourself for so long and like knowing that you found a girl whose sister went missing, I think it would be a good time for you to tell your story.
Yeah.
So I get that.
And then Emerson's telling her story, gets a bit overwhelmed, and Colt also gets emotional, so he like runs outside.
Oh yeah.
Ridley follows. And again, Trey was outside at this point too. I think he had left the room. So this is why I also thought it was Trey.
Yeah.
Because there was like this part where it's like, where's Trey?
Yes.
After she gets, so yeah. Ridley tells Colt, I love you, after they have this little heart to heart. She stays outside. He's like, I'm going to go back in. She's like, oh, I'll just be out here for a minute. gets abducted.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting the abduction.
Yeah,
so I gotta give
me
it to-
neither.
I was gonna.
This was probably like the best part of the book for me.
Yeah.
Was when she got taken. I know that sounds like morbid, but it was where it was like really picking up for me. Where I was like, oh, okay, what's happening? Who
I
is
think because
it
it was unexpected.
Yeah.
That was what made it really interesting. The I love you.
I know.
I'm just gonna read my notes.
Yeah.
It's less of a payoff to have them pretend conflict of friends with benefits to then immediately saying I love you and then being okay to be together.
Yeah.
I would have been happy from the first hookup for them to acknowledge your feelings and see how it grows as they work together rather than force this, oh no, we're just friends.
I agree.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
It's been only like a couple weeks, right? Like,
Yeah.
it hasn't been that long.
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it was like a month maybe.
Yeah.
At most, I want to say.
I don't know. And then I love you, and then boom, she's kidnapped.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect the kidnapping.
Yeah,
so
me neither.
I get that.
So yeah, then they realize she's gone. And then Emerson looking at photos and sees an old picture of like the tennis coach or something, or a traveling tennis coach that used to come up. She's like, oh, and she remembers the scent or something. I don't quote me on this, but I feel like it was like the scent of his great bubble gum or something.
Again, with these scents, I think you're right. I think you're onto something.
It was, yeah.
But again, what is Colt doing investigating?
I know.
And doesn't figure out this tennis coach that came in and came out.
Like, why wouldn't they show her pictures of people, like, after she was abducted? You know what I mean? Oh, no, we got to protect her. Like,
Shitty. Yeah.
because immediately she sees him and she's like, oh, it's him.
Yes.
Sean Sullivan. Like, okay.
That was quick.
Yeah.
But yeah. Did not expect that though.
Yeah.
Honestly, did not expect that.
Me neither.
Oh, the kidnapping.
And
And then she gets kidnapped and then figures out she's known the murderer for years. I thought it was just a weird way for him to be like, it's me.
it's me, Sully. Like, okay. Which was her editor.
How did he pull this off? How did this guy
He wore like masks and stuff when he was on video calls with her. And
somehow gets out of all the podcasts, somehow becomes this girl's editor for how many other podcasts she's done before?
Exactly. I know. I was like, okay.
Why?
Yeah.
And then the weird, okay, keep going. But the reason why he originally wanted to capture Ridley, but then went after Avery, like that whole thing.
Yeah, so I think his like MO was going after like these high achieving students and like
Weird
people
MO, by
who
the
were
way.
Athletic.
Yeah.
So I think that's why he chose
Go for the popular
Avery.
people?
Yeah, super weird. Yeah, I'm like what?
The most obvious people who have all eyes on them.
Weird, yeah.
But like I think, don't quote me on this, but he brings up how like, oh, how attractive they were, and like he originally wanted to go after you,
Yeah.
but then like went after Avery instead.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Super weird.
And for someone who could have a bunch of people to just kind of like word vomit everything, strange.
Tells her everything. Yeah.
Strange. Yeah, I did not clock it was going to be him at all.
Yeah, me neither. That's why I was like, oh, okay. Makes sense.
It's a good old like villain story where they're like revealing themselves and then they have to give you like
the mask.
15 like a 15-page dialogue of like it was me.
It was me. 100%.
Weird.
So basically he leaves, tries to go and take a call. She escapes. Like she's able to get out. And then I'm kind of like, I don't really take notes in this part, so forgive me. So she's basically like, they're having like this standoff moment by the cliff.
I can't remember either, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. Okay, before we move on though, can I just mention the use of their nicknames? Okay. just
Oh,
bring this up.
Lawman and Chaos. I hated it. It was so cringy. It was like every other page.
Yes.
Like, it's cute. Okay, we get it. But you don't need to, like, reiterate it
Every single time.
page.
I'm sorry. If a guy kept using a nickname on me, like, okay, Chaos, okay, like, this is, that
Yeah.
the use of the nicknames and the constant use of the nicknames
Yeah.
took me out of it every
Yeah.
single time.
It was cringy, like, eye roll.
Yeah.
100%.
Had to bring that up.
So, yeah, basically they're at this cliff. Ridley's escaped. Sully, or whatever the guy's name is, I think it's goes by Sully.
Yeah.
Has a gun pointed at her, and then Colt in the sheriff's office shows up, and it was basically like a standoff moment, and she jumps off the cliff to save herself, and Colt jumps in after her. We find out later.
How big is this cliff? Okay. How big is this cliff? I get it. You know, you don't want to be, you don't want to be shot at. I'll jump off.
She's like, I love you, and jumps. So corny.
I would love to know the size of this cliff.
I know.
Because
Yeah.
if it's a huge cliff, you think my ass is going to be jumping off this fucking
Yeah,
cliff? If it's
no.
like
I'd
stories
take
and
the
stories.
chances getting shot, honestly.
Because it's like dark out, right? Too. Like it's not middle of the day,
I
right?
don't think so.
Jumping off the
wouldn't-
cliff.
Yeah, like I'd rather not. I'd rather get shot. I know that sounds terrible, but
Yeah, because you can break your bones and then like you're trying to swim.
yeah, you drown.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Was she injured?
Yeah, she was severely.
okay,
yeah.
okay.
I think she
That's-
like barely made it,
Okay.
but she survives, of course.
To be like, I'm gonna sacrifice myself, but then Cole could still get shot, and then like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess Sully gets shot, right? I believe he dies.
I think so.
Yeah.
I honestly can't remember the end of the book.
Yeah,
Sorry,
don't
guys.
quote me.
I can't remember the end of the book. Let me see. And the epilogue. What was this epilogue in chapter 1 thing? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
Could care less. Oh yeah. Like, okay. And then they get the epilogue is when they get married, right?
yes.
Okay,
They
well,
have their happy ever after.
let's go before that. Oh, okay. So then there's another subplot of like the coach was going to get charged for statutory rape
Yes, yeah.
for the girl Tara.
I think he had also like drugged one of the students, causing them to die.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
he was
I
like a
forgot
drug
about
dealer
that.
too.
He was a drug dealer, apparently. Drugged one of the kids, and they died. And they we've also forgot to mention Ridley had like a strange relationship with her parents because of like the trauma
Oh,
from
that's
her
right.
sister going missing. So at the end, they kind of make up.
Yes.
Because they get closure, right? Mm-hmm. And then the epilogue is a year later.
They're getting ready for their ceremony. Okay, I gotta bring up this one line.
Yeah.
I don't have time
I
to
know
fuck you
exactly.
before the ceremony.
I knew exactly what you were going to
So I just smacked the microphone. Huh? Again, force. It just felt
Yeah.
so cringy. What are you talking about?
Exactly. And what else?
Oh, goodness. Oh yeah, and there's like one interaction of the parents of like talking about their sex life. And I'm like, what is happening?
No, can we not?
What is these interactions? What is going on?
Oh, she gets Avery's keychain back.
Yes, that was cute. That was cute.
Coulter Brooks, did you threaten to kill someone to get this? Full naming me, baby. Like, I'm sorry, guys.
How's that turn on? That's what full names
Full
you.
naming me, baby.
I like.
But yeah. And then, yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, Colt, you helped me find all the missing pieces, even the ones I didn't realize I needed. I feel like this book could have really been more serious.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe we just didn't take it serious.
Maybe it's just us. I don't
Could
know.
be an us thing, you know? But even at the end, love you, chaos. Love you, love.
Yeah.
can't.
We're not nickname girls, as you can
No,
like tell.
clearly.
It wasn't a bad book, you guys.
No, it wasn't.
We just can't take it
I
seriously.
still give it 4 stars.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
It's just like rereading it and going through things, you notice these sort of things more.
We gotta read more of these like type of genre book, you know?
Yeah.
To
They're easy reads for sure.
oh yeah, very quick. And I think maybe that's one of the hard part too is doing these once a month and reading other books.
Yeah.
That my brain has a hard time unless it's like really, good
Really,
book.
yes.
That it's hard for me to remember and like be invested into it because I'm reading so many other books. Not that
Yeah.
many, but for me it's a
Yeah,
lot.
I agree.
When I used to only read, one book a couple months, and now I'm reading, like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
That's hard for me to.
It's hard to digest.
Yeah. And books nowadays, I have a hard time really gripping me. It's like far and few between
Yeah, I agree. I'm
That
the
it-
same way.
that it really gets
Like
us.
I'll find moments in the book that I really enjoyed, but then I'm like, didn't really stick with me that much. I can't really remember it.
And I think it just comes with having a book club that, like, not every book can be like this, wow,
Yeah.
really good book. And if it is every month, that's awesome. But everyone has their own different tastes.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Oh, so yeah, we both rated it 4 stars.
Yep.
I think it could have been a 5-star for me if there wasn't so much, honestly, the nickname crap.
Yeah, the
nipple-
repetitive sayings, the smells.
Yeah. The
The
nipples. Like, I think
I
that
agree.
could have made it a 5-star.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a bad book. I did not clock it to be Sully. Now going through it,
Yeah.
why the hell was he there all the freaking time?
Yeah.
That
I
makes
agree.
sense. So we are going to be reading Leave Me Behind by K.M. Moronova. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. It's a very spicy book.
Yes, I'm excited.
Nell Gallows is a sole survivor of an elite Dark Forces squad. Riot. Okay. Oh, that's the squad name. Okay, I'm going to lisp, so I'm going to have Santana read this, you guys. So
sure.
I don't want to keep lisping. Keep lisping.
Nell Gallows is the sole survivor of an elite Dark Forces squad riot after a detrimental attack 2 years ago. Unsurprisingly, she's being put up as the top candidate for the Special Ops Malum, the squad that goes where no one else will or can. There's only one Malum blames. There's only one Malum blames. What? Sorry.
Good old.
There's only one Malum blames their one casualty from the Patagonia mission on the riot squad.
Fable, get your shit together.
Yeah, that didn't make sense to me. I'm sorry. So what is she going to do when she finds herself on a plane to California and on her way to a sure death sentence, a one-night stand? At least that's all it was supposed to be. One last night to be free. Only she finds out too late that the dark and mysterious man she's solely wanting as a fling is not only her new comrade, but also the one she's dreading meeting most, her immediate superior and untouchable devil in the field, Bones. He's hell on earth, cruel and unforgiving, but most of all he hates her, and he makes sure she knows it. And yet she finds herself unwilling to leave his side when he's unable to get to the evac point when their mission goes awry. She stays behind with the devil and the secrets he keeps. They only have one another to trust when Jesus, I'm butchering this. I'm so sorry. They only have one another to trust when no faith is left. I'm so sorry I butchered that.
Oh, it'll be in our Instagram post.
Look it up.
When you were reading that, the one thing that stood out to me being like, he hates her.
Yeah.
That's aggressive.
Okay.
I'm sure he doesn't hate her. Yeah. But I've heard good things about this.
Yeah.
I kept seeing it on TikTok.
Yeah, me too.
People talking about it. So I was like,
I think it's going to be good.
Yeah.
And the book club voted for this one, so.
Absolutely. Yeah. We put up a poll of 3 different books. We asked the group of like a genre to see what they want. And we put 3 separate genre books. And this was the most requested. So if you want to be a part of that, make sure you are following us on Fable.
100%.
So you could pick what book you want to read with us next.
Yes.
Okay. This book club book was a lot.
We have high hopes for the next one.
Hopefully the next one is more entertaining for us both.
Exactly.
We'll catch you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.